Welcome to Trading an Edge, the podcast where we break down the psychology, mindset, and system of elite trading. In this deep dive, we're really tearing down that myth of overnight success and revealing the three core principles that truly exceptional traders live by. You see, our deep dive into these sources, it's really illuminated a disruptive truth, hasn't it? Exceptionalism isn't just born from raw talent. Not at all. It's forged in those quiet moments, where discipline meets deliberate practice. The real secret, it seems, isn't just what you know, but what you consistently do day in, day out. It's a huge shift, almost like a clinical prescription for mastery.
Oh,
What emerged so powerfully from the research is this undeniable idea. Great traders don't just trade great, they actually become great by obsessing over the process itself, not just the outcome. And that takes a forensic level of respect for the craft, an unwavering commitment to mastering the basics, and maybe surprisingly, a love for the kind of repetition others just avoid. This isn't just philosophy, is it? It feels like a tangible blueprint.
that's exactly it. And that's what struck me too. Anyone searching for true trading mastery, it's not about some hidden formula or, catching a lucky break. The sources consistently point to this path that isn't about finding the perfect trade, but about becoming the kind of person who executes perfectly, consistently, over and over. It's a really profound internal shift. That perspective underpins everything.
Yeah, that idea of process obsession. It leads us right into the first major insight from our sources, which is respecting the craft.
Mhm.
So, what did the research uncover? What does that really mean day to day for a trader?
It fundamentally means acting like a professional. Like right now, even before you feel you've earned that title, you sort of earn your way into that mindset through your actions. And what's fascinating, almost audacious really, is how many traders expect these world-class results, but they're giving the market, well, part-time attention. They're scrolling social media, they're multitasking, treating market hours like it's just background noise. The sources really highlight this disconnect.
Right. It's like trying to bake, I don't know, a Michelin star souffle while you're answering emails and watching TV. You
Yeah.
just can't expect that perfect result, can you? I imagine some listeners might be thinking, well, hang on, I do pay attention. But the sources, they really challenge that sort of casual approach, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And the analogy they use is just so vivid. Imagine a surgeon scrolling through Instagram mid-operation.
Unthinkable.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Unthinkable, right? Yet traders, every single day, do the equivalent. And they expect precision results without precision focus. Your trading screen, it isn't just a monitor, it's an operating table. Your trades aren't just clicks, they're high-stakes procedures.
Right.
You have to treat every single moment in the market with that level of seriousness. It's about recognizing the gravity, the weight of what you're doing, and dedicating your full mental faculty to it. It's about cultivating that state of deep work, as one source called it, leveraging specific neurochemicals even to maintain peak focus. It's physiological discipline too.
Wow, that operating table metaphor, it really hits home. So it's not just about checking in on the markets anymore. It's way beyond that. This mindset shift means treating every trade review, every chart analysis, every observation with the seriousness of a high-stakes performance. You're consciously stepping into your office or your arena when you trade. It's like a deliberate, almost sacred act, entering that dedicated space mentally and physically.
hmm So here's something really actionable, something you can do today to put this into practice. For the next 30 days, just commit. Create a truly dedicated trading environment, one that signals seriousness to your brain. This means absolutely no phone distractions, no social media tabs open, zero multitasking. Make sure you have a clean, organized workspace. That matters. And, this is critical, establish a defined pre-market ritual, something you do consistently before you even look at a chart. This isn't superstition, it's about training your brain to switch into performance mode.
Hmm.
The sources just hammer this home. Your focus is, without question, your single greatest competitive advantage.
Okay, so building on that commitment, treating trading like the serious profession it is. The sources then pivot to what exactly that professional dedicates their focus to. And it's all about obsessing over the basics. This really gets to the heart of what separates the amateurs from the masters, right? What did you find was the biggest misconception here?
It's what the sources call the false path. So many amateurs take it. They're constantly chasing the next shiny object, a better indicator, a smarter algorithm,
Yeah.
or some kind of hidden market insight they think they've found. They believe there's a secret shortcut, that they can just skip the foundational skill building. But all those perceived shortcuts, as the sources put it so starkly, they absolutely rot your foundation.
Rot your foundation. Strong words.
Yeah, you just can't build a skyscraper on quicksand, right?
Wow.
Yet so many traders try.
So, okay, what do the masters do then? What's the master's reality the sources describe, especially with the basics? Because it sounds almost counterintuitive when everyone's hunting for the new thing.
The master's reality is actually surprisingly simple, but profoundly effective. And it's consistent across the sources. Just think about it. Tiger Woods, arguably the greatest golfer ever, still practices putting for hours.
Right, the most basic stroke.
Exactly. Or a Michelin star chef, top of their game, still chops onions daily, perfecting knife skills. And elite traders, they aren't off chasing some exotic new strategy every week. They are relentlessly rehearsing their risk management. They're meticulously journaling every single trade. The point is crystal clear. The basics aren't just the starting point. They are the entire point. You don't graduate from the fundamentals.
You just refine them forever.
You refine them for life, continuously.
That's a powerful idea. The basics are the whole game. So for traders specifically, when the sources talk basics, what are they really pointing to? What are the non-negotiables?
They consistently highlight a few critical ones. First, risk sizing. Risk sizing that genuinely protects your capital. It's survival.
Job number one.
Absolutely. Second, unwavering discipline. Following your setup rules. Sticking to the plan no matter what. And third, emotional regulation. Especially during those inevitable drawdowns, when the market tests you and tries to shake your confidence. These aren't flashy, you're right.
Yeah.
But they are the absolute bedrock for consistent profitability.
Okay, so if someone's listening now and thinking, right, I need to do this, what's an actionable step? How do you actually build that obsession with the basics? It sounds like it takes real deep effort.
It does. It really does. So here's the step. Pick just one basic trading skill, and make it your absolute obsession for a full month. Not 5 skills, just one.
Laser focus.
Laser focus. So for example, maybe for weeks 1 and 2, you commit to journaling every single trade, but with brutal forensic honesty. Dig deep. Your decisions, your mental state, emotions. What were you feeling? What was the thought process? Before, during, after. Then, maybe weeks 3 and 4, you dedicate yourself to backtesting. 50 or more examples of your best setup. Meticulously review entry, exit, management, every detail. This isn't about getting it perfect right away. It's about the relentless, repetitive process of refinement. Because like we said, you don't graduate from the basics, you refine them for life.
That's incredibly powerful, focusing on just one thing with that intensity. And that flows perfectly into our third and final core principle from the sources. Fall in love with repetition.
This hits directly at that misconception beginners have, doesn't it? Thinking success is one good day, one big win. But masters know it's about creating good days over and over, in all market conditions. It's about sustained performance. Exactly. This is where the trader's art really comes into play. True consistency. It's kind of mechanical in execution, yes, but it's acutely alive in observation. You perform the exact same process, whether it feels exciting or dull or even really difficult. It's about being like a machine in your process, but always aware of the market's subtle shifts. There's a deep psychology here, too, the amateur. They chase applause.
Yeah, the quick hit, the validation.
Right. Immediate gratification, maybe some social media likes, but the master chases perfection in the shadows, and nobody's watching. This is such a crucial mental reframe. Repetition. It's not boring. It's the sharpening of your ultimate edge. While others are looking for the next big thing, the master is just honing the small things over and over and over again. In private.
Okay, that's where it gets really interesting for me. Why does this relentless repetition matter so much beyond just discipline? What is it actually building inside the trader?
Well, the sources explain that repetition builds automaticity.
Automaticity, okay.
Yeah, that's the ability to execute without hesitation, without your conscious thought getting bogged down. And here's the really cool part. This automaticity isn't about becoming a rigid robot. It actually frees your mind. It frees up your mental bandwidth to adapt when markets shift unexpectedly. When the core mechanics of your trading are totally ingrained, second nature, your higher level thinking can then focus on nuance, on reading between the lines, on reacting instinctively, instead of wrestling with just basic execution.
Okay. So it's almost like the more you automate the known, the more capacity you have to deal with the unknown.
Precisely. That's it exactly. When you fall in love with the grind, when you truly embrace that repetitive nature of skill building, you build an automaticity that just frees your mind to adapt, to perform under any market conditions. And you need to understand this. The market doesn't care if you're motivated that day, or excited, or inspired. It only rewards what you repeatedly execute with precision. Consistency and precision. That's what gets rewarded.
Right. So the actionable step here sounds like create a daily process tracker, maybe even a physical checklist, something you actually interact with.
Yeah, definitely. Make it tangible.
And on it, you check off every single core habit, your morning prep, your execution checklist before a trade, your journaling after. And the goal isn't novelty, is it? It's streak length.
Exactly. Forget trying new things every day for a bit. How many days in a row can you nail your core process? That's the real measure. It builds that internal sense of mastery.
Okay, so bringing this all together, the core message from all our research seems incredibly clear. Great traders are fundamentally building themselves, not just chasing the market swings. They respect the craft so deeply that their time and focus actually reflect it. They obsess over the basics until those fundamentals are just second nature. And, crucially, they fall in love with repetition until excellence in execution starts to feel almost effortless, like a master artisan.
And maybe the key takeaway for you, the listener, is this. If you're not where you want to be yet, you're not failing. You're just early in the process. That's okay. Every deliberate hour you put in now, focusing on these principles,
Hey.
it compounds. It builds into a skill set that others just can't fake. They can't imitate it with shortcuts. Because there are no shortcuts to this kind of deep-seated mastery, only persistent, focused effort.
So what does this all mean for you? Ultimately, mastery isn't really about beating the market, is it? It's about becoming the kind of trader who can dance with it, in any condition, ebb or flow, volatility or calm. It's about becoming the kind of person who executes flawlessly, consistently, no matter what the market throws your way, chasing that perfection in the shadows. The master painter Hokusai, apparently, created 30,000 artworks. But the world really remembers one, the Great Wave. What are you doing in the shadows right now to make your one masterpiece possible, trading an edge where psychology meets profitability?